All right, let's get a look at some of these 2021s coming in here. On the right, we got an XDS Turbo RR with its new color scheme, and the 21 XRC Maverick Sport. So these are pretty close to exactly what I have. I basically got this one and this one, but in the XMR. So the new color schemes, I think, pretty darn cool. Got away from some of the usual there, but went a little different, shook it up a bit. This one you got the sandy dune gray look with the red accents, and this one is a gray look with the red accents. Ready orange, you know, the Can-Am Ready Orange. So on the XRC, not a whole lot of changes. Why? Because they really don't need many. I have ours at home and it's been flawless. It's been the most amazing machine to drive in all the time. We're talking in the trails and the bushes, not in the dunes and the whoops and all that. But for the BC riding, the trails and all that stuff, unbelievable. It's been, nothing can shake it. It can keep up with everything. So just give you a good look what all has changed in these guys. Really not a whole heck of a lot. Pretty much everything seems the same for sure. And then when you go around here on the exterior, yeah, everything looks the same. I mean, just a new look. Looks pretty sharp though. The interior. So the one big change that I noticed on these, especially for 2021s on quite a few things, is going to be happen on both the X3 and the Sport and many others, is the new gauge cluster. So we'll take a peek at that in a second. You got the newer looking version of that than the 19s, the 20s I think switched to that, and then other than that everything's about the same. Nothing else different I see there. Sharp, nice and clean. You gotta love though when you see everybody else's stuff, when you see the KRX, and as much as you like them, the doors have two plastic molds that come pinch your arms, and then the other ones have nothing lines up. I mean, as far as the doors, inside out, the weather stripping, the seal, like everything about this interior, it's just, look at this, it's just perfect. Like, you can't complain when you're sitting in there. You're very comfortable. All the ergonomics are very nice, very smartly done. So you got the handle just like a door, so you can get out if you need to jump. Handle inside too. It's just, everything's easy, everything's comfortable. And they bow them out so your legs have room in there too. So just quickly before we check out the other one, peek at the new dash real quick there. It's more or less the same, just a bit of a different shroud around it. So not much to talk about there really. Still shows everything: sport mode, park time, your trips, your fuel, your temperatures. So other than that, the 19s didn't have this version. It was up here on a couple buttons, but now it's over here. Let's hear it right now. Let's hear the stock. So unlike ours, this one has definitely a nice lower sound to it. Still has the V-twin little duck motor in there. Sounds great. But all I can say is ours is louder, sounds awesome. Sometimes I wonder if it's just a little annoyingly loud. For a long ride, maybe the stock would sound a little better. It's hard to say. We'd have to switch back and forth and test it out. But when you're sitting inside here, definitely quieter overall. I think in the long rides it would definitely be better. So let's shoot over here to this beautiful XDS with the nice red and black seats. Very sharp, must say. This sandy Stormtrooper kind of awesome look is pretty cool. When you come up close to it in person, it really pops at you. It's pretty neat. So the changes on these guys, I mean, a lot hasn't changed for this model. Other models like the XRS have some other bigger change. The biggest thing being the shocks, of course, like the smart shocks, the ones that like to think for themselves and adjust on the fly and whatnot. XDSs don't come with that. So this is the top model for the XDS, so it is the higher horsepower. And I'm going to go through some of the changes that I could find for you guys. So I don't see a whole lot up here in shocks wise. I'm kind of wondering about, I want to check this coil actually out on mine. I think they changed the spring up there compared to what was up there. So I'm going to double check that in comparison. Alright, so as I said, when I get back to my own machine here, it's dirty as it is, been doing lots of riding. I said I'd compare. So for some reason I thought that the tendons up here were tighter, but they're not. So I believe that's stayed the same. Other than that, I don't see anything, you know, gusseting different or strengthening different in any way. It seems to all be the same pieces. Same with up front. Don't see any changes there either. Interior wise, everything seems to be about the same. Again, except for the cluster. So the cluster's changed a bit, just like the other one. We'll pop in there in a second. So here's one thing. This is where things got different. Look down in here at this new CVT box. This has changed 100%. The size of these intakes and outtakes are crazy. They're way bigger. It just seems like they changed shapes, sizes, the heights of the openings, and if you notice now up into the air box, it's just like everything is now going and joining in a certain way up to every one. So I wonder if that's going to change the noise too. The Donaldson filter looks slightly different as well. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure about what we're talking about here. I will compare at home just to double check. Looks like the same springs, all three back here. But this definitely, this whole housing has changed quite a bit. So will this help belt life? Will it check out belt temps? Will it just let it all breathe better and perform better? Does it change the noise inside the cab? Does this change that RPM issue where it gets real loud? Around 5,000 RPM. That'd be a dream come true. Yeah, so other than that, we're looking pretty much the same. Air box is still there, everything, the intercooler is the same. Pretty much the same on this side as well. Just started it up earlier and noticed it seemed quieter. But so did mine too when we first bought her there, eh? But I got the S&B filter on now. It's definitely quieter. For what reason, I don't know. So let's look here. What do we got on the dash that's different here? So we got our toggle here to muck around. So we go menu, you got your speed stats, engine temp, battery, settings, RPM. That's about it there. Then you can change your sport modes. DPS still. Touch of a button. Got your average speed and all that stuff. Your trip. AB, so everything's really about the exact same. I'm gonna test these seats out though. I just want to know if these work a little smoother here. How do you do this? You go this way? Okay, definitely something's sliding a little better. Maybe because it's not super dirty yet, but just felt very easy compared to before. I'll have to question that one down the road here. So I'm gonna put it in neutral here and just hold the RPMs up for a second. Point here. Let's show the RPMs here. So that was 4,800. That's definitely different. So it has it a bit. It's not as bad. I think it's improved again this year, believe it or not. For what reason? What they did exactly? I don't know. Is it the airbox? Is it all the ducts and everything? So here you're still pretty much the same design here. Everything's the same design as far as I can see, other than where everything goes into the airbox. That's definitely changed. It's pretty hard to see in here and show, but yeah, just look at all these connectors and how big they are. A little bit of flex, but definitely a lot more air going through there. Interesting to see how this works out. We'll know soon on how all these belt lights last and the cases and all that stuff. Other than that, what one heck of a machine. The XDS is my favorite model. I would love to get one with the new shocks brought into them too. It'd be pretty awesome. So that being said, it's hard to pick one or the other because we have both, but I got to be a real tough one to decide. What do you guys think? What would you do? 100 horsepower or 195? Two different machines. We take them everywhere the same way. They honestly go, everyone gets where the other one goes. It's just two different rides. Great looking machines. Which one do you like, guys? Let me know, comment below. Tell me which one you'd drop your dough on. You're looking, you know, about $4,000 off of each other. However, the XRC does come with a lot of stuff on it already. You got your winch, you got your rear bumper, your skid plates, your A-arm guards, some big 30s already. That sun is a killer today. Oh, there you go. You tell me which one you would get. I think I know which one I'd get just because it'd be really hard not. For these apart, this is what I was interested in. Is the clutch or CVT case different and bigger? It's a little hard to tell. Not super sure it's bigger. This has changed though, for sure. Absolutely. It's just a different style of a pipe, different kind of a pipe. I'm not sure why. Hopefully it cleans better than this one. Probably doesn't cool down as well when it's caked in dirt if it gets really muddy. This seems to go up the same. It just seems to be a bit of a different shape and size and style to that pipe. This one too, I thought it was quite a bit bigger on the new one too, and higher for some reason, but it's actually not. So other than you know, maybe the port here is a little bit bigger in size. We'll go back to the video and check that out. But other than that, it's pretty minor stuff for changes this year. So yeah, nothing much of different here. Is it quieter? Well, like I said, I got the S&B filter, so it's just shooting more noise as much as it's more airtight down there. Coming up to here, I do have quite a few openings up there. The fan is pulling air in, or all the fans. However, I think the sound still travels. Next, I'm going to trying to foam thing over there, but I don't find that's making much of a difference because if you look around, I mean, there's so many areas all the way around there that go into there. But where I want to try and see, I mean, I expect something in the motor to be making noises and maybe the turbo, etc. But I'm wondering if it's something to do with these heat shields getting a vibration at a certain point. There's a clamp there as well, so that to me just spells a lot of different tin and metal that can be vibrating. If you're getting the back pressure vibration off of there, especially when you let off the gas, that's when it really hits. So I'm going to keep investigating on this. If I can cure some of the sound, I will let you guys know what I come up with.